Namaskaram. It's been a long time. Uh, Today I felt like I wanted to share a bit of my past, a small aspect of my journey. So there was a time in my life during my teen, going to become an adult time of my life where I was trying to form my identity. Identity has become very important for me at the time, and I think most of the teenagers and young adults could feel that too. Where I'm trying to form my own identity, and then you don't know the answers to everything, and then you have to belong to something, or else like you're looked down upon. You have to have strong opinions about everything. So this was the case during my formative years in Canada, and at the time, people would ask pressing questions. It's like, so who are you? What does it mean to be an Indian? What does it mean to be a Hindu? How do you feel about the caste system in India? How do you feel about all the puja rituals and all of that? So all these questions are very important for me because I did not know the answers to that. At the time, I did identify myself as a Hindu Indian, but not so much as a, doing the rituals, puja type of thing. Just a very vague identity. I had no idea what it meant. Bit of an atheist mentality as well at the time, so it actually didn't help me with my going into the depth of my identity. So the questioning has begun. So I started reading a lot about the Indian history, trying to make sense of what's happening in India. I learned more about India after leaving the country than when I was here, and I think again, like I was in my first second year engineering when I came across Barka Dutt's video of she was with a bunch of college students when she was discussing the oppression of Kashmiri Hindus on Kashmiri Muslims and oppression of state on Kashmiri Muslims, oppression of the army on Kashmiri Muslims, and then I've come to a conclusion almost. I've leaned towards a state where I felt genuinely sickened of my own identity as being a Hindu Indian that we've been doing all this to the Muslims of this nation and the minorities of this country, and started to watch more and more because that only intrigued me to learn more as to what else are we up to. And social media was becoming very powerful at the time, especially Facebook. YouTube was just starting to, and I've seen a lot of articles and a lot of videos circulated around again. Most of them geared towards anti-India rhetoric, anti-India narrative, oppression against Muslims, minorities, and there's so much. As I'm reading more and more, I'm getting leaning more and more towards left-wing side of mentality, and then there was a point where I actually was turning more spiritual in the journey, trying to understand more and more, and then I started to read more upon different religions, starting with Hinduism, Islam, Christianity, and then I spent more and more on Hinduism. I started to learn more and more about the culture, the history, uh, the spiritual thread, and then one point became very clear. That was the moment in my life I felt I'm proud of being an Indian. More than the pride, I think what I felt was being an Indian is not just about the pride, but it's about the responsibility we have towards every life on the planet, including the soil. So we come from the soil, we go back to the soil. The soil movement has already begun. We can connect the dots today, but at the time, I felt being an Indian meant you're responsible for all life on the planet. So it's a much bigger responsibility, and then I truly understood what's happening in Kashmir and all of that. And then finally, now the movie is out, the Kashmir Files is out, and I went to watch the movie, and I I was in tears for a good chunk of the movie. It should really not happen to anybody, and the Kashmiri Pandits have been waiting for justice for over 30 years now, and it happened during our time. That is the sad reality. It happened very close to our time or during our time, especially the millennials and the next generation. So this is one movie we should actually all go watch in the theaters, um, and then you start your own research. The narrative can be anything, but these stories are real. I highly encourage that if you identify yourself as an Indian, please do go watch the movie, and please do understand that you hold a much higher responsibility than anyone else on this planet, because you are responsible for all life on this planet, including the soil. Okay? Namaskar.